Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So do me a favor before we dive into today's topics. If you enjoy the video or find it informative, be sure to leave it a like. And if you are new here to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button as well. And before we dive into the first topic, I do just want to let you guys know that Astrobot reviews are going live tomorrow. And a lot of people have been asking me what I think it's going to review at, like what the Metacritic score will be. I'm thinking it's going to sit at around an 87, but I also wanted to ask you guys to let me know in the comments where you think it's going to land. Give your predictions down below. I know there's a lot of Astrobot excitement right now. I'm very excited for it as well, and so I'm just curious to see what you guys are expecting. We're starting here with an interesting rumor regarding GTA 6. This is being reported by Game Rant, and they say a new report suggests that Sony has secured exclusive rights to market Grand Theft Auto 6 alongside the PS5 and the upcoming PS5 Pro. Sony's relationship with Rockstar Games dates all the way back to the PS2 days, so it wouldn't be too surprising if the pair of gaming juggernauts joined forces to market the long-awaited GTA 6. It remains to be seen when GTA 6's next trailer will debut, but speculation around the game continues to proliferate, with one very recent rumor indicating that Sony could have struck a deal with Rockstar for exclusive marketing rights to GTA 6. During the latest episode of the XNC podcast, Industry Insider Mag claimed that Sony has locked down a marketing agreement for GTA 6, which will allow the company to advertise the game alongside PS5 and PS5 Pro only. The insider assured that the Sony deal will not affect GTA 6's availability for the Xbox Series users, but it will diminish its marketing exposure on the Microsoft platform. Mag added that this exclusive marketing arrangement will be disclosed when Trailer 2 for GTA 6 releases, as it will supposedly feature the PlayStation logo. He also reckons GTA 6's second trailer will air at the 2024 Game Awards in December, but this part he isn't too sure about. And so it's worth noting here, it says, interestingly, Mag's report was further corroborated by insider Red Gaming Tech in a recent tweet, who alleged that Sony will use GTA 6 for heavy marketing alongside the PS5 Pro. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting rumor, although maybe not the most shocking or surprising, but the timing of it is what fascinates me, where everybody is, I guess, kind of assuming that trailer 2 for GTA 6 is going to drop before the end of the year, but we're also right on the cusp of the PlayStation 5 Pro officially being announced, and the Pro is going to release before the end of the year. But there's always been a heavy amount of conversation around GTA 6 running on the PS5 Pro. What's interesting is that GTA 6 is only announced for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series consoles. So when this game launches, the PS5 Pro will be out. It likely will be PS5 Pro optimized, and so because of that, the PS5 Pro will be the best place to play GTA 6 until it eventually releases on PC, which who knows when exactly that will be. But the idea of Sony marketing this game, having the marketing rights to GTA 6, is absolutely colossal when you think about it, because, you know, GTA 6 just releasing on the PlayStation platform is going to do big things for the PS5 no matter what. There's an unbelievable amount of excitement for this game, and it's going to do unbelievable numbers when it releases. But if Sony can get their logo on there and show the PS5, you know, in any type of GTA 6 trailer, or the PS5 Pro, and they can just really kind of market it in tandem with the PS5 Pro, or just the base PS5 for that matter, I mean, this is going to be a big deal for the PlayStation console and for Sony. And so it's going to be very, very interesting to see if this rumor turns out to be true. I've suspected for some time that Sony did secure the marketing rights for GTA 6 because Rockstar's relationship with Sony, as they pointed out here, dates all the way back to the PS2 with GTA on the 3 and Vice City and San Andreas on the PS2. So we will see how this plays out. But we are going to move on to the next topic here, which is one that has caused a little bit of controversy. So I'm going to be interested to see what you guys have to say. This is being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. Sony leadership reckons that the company does not have enough original IP, including in its PlayStation division. The group making a multi-billion-dollar investment into creating original content in a bid to widen its share of the entertainment industry, and in an interview with Financial Times expressed its desire to foster new IP from the beginning. Whether it's for games, films, or anime, we don't have that much IP that we fostered from the beginning. This is what Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki told Financial Times. We're lacking the early phase of IP, and that's an issue for us. Totoki added that Sony as a whole has been better at finding new audiences for existing popular IPs and thinks that the company won't grow without creating content from scratch for higher returns. The article concludes, while new IP is certainly welcome, these comments are a little puzzling when it comes to PlayStation because the company has numerous game franchises that it fostered from the beginning, or could have, but they have since been abandoned. Look no further than the image featured above, and the image they're referencing has Resistance, Killzone, SOCOM, and Infamous on it. And so this is why this is causing a bit of controversy where, you know, a lot of people are pointing out on social media sites that this comment seems a bit out of touch, because it is true that PlayStation or Sony is sitting on a treasure trove of original PlayStation IP. A lot of games that, you know, originate from Sony, and you know, they have been giving, some of these IPs have been given more than a few chances, others not so much. So the comment does seem a little bit out of touch and disingenuous, and I do get that. But we do also have to keep in mind that Hiroki Totoki is talking about Sony holistically here. He's not just talking about the game sector. He's talking about films and anime as well. But there's no denying that PlayStation is a massive part of Sony, and so he is still including that there. But on the other hand, I don't necessarily know that I feel too bad about this comment, because if you think about it, really all he's saying is that we're going to make new IP. We're going to make a multi-billion-dollar investment in new IP and the creation and funding of new IP. Now, as much as I want to see Sony kind of tap into some of their more original games that maybe deserve another chance or revival, I'm also all for the idea of getting brand new games. Now, it can go completely wrong, just like we saw with Concord, which was a new IP. I mean, it can really go wrong, but it can also go very right, as we've seen with many of the successful games recently, like Ghost of Tsushima. You think about stuff like The Last of Us and Uncharted. I mean, at one point, you know, those games started as new IP as well. Death Stranding, right? It's one of these things where I do want to see more risk taken on new IP, but I want Sony to be, you know, very mindful of the type of original IP that they're choosing to invest into. And I think after seeing what happened with something like Concord, I think Sony's probably feeling the same way. Like, yeah, we should probably be a little bit more careful about what we choose to really kind of go all in with here. But yeah, I do hope at the same time Sony understands that, or at least Hiroki Totoki understands that you do have a lot of original IP you're sitting on, and a lot of the most, you know, successful IP or successful IP that happened, you know, came out and occurred during the PS3 and PS4 era. Like, that was, you know, mostly all new IP as well. So just hope he keeps that in mind. But figured I would let you guys know about that. I'm curious to see what you have to say. Moving on to the next topic, we have an interesting report regarding the next live service multiplayer new IP from Sony, that being Fairgames. This is a report coming from Push Square. It says, with all of the Concord doom and gloom going around today, we should try a different tact. With Firewalk Studios seemingly in a precarious position, the spotlight now shifts to Sony's other PS5 PC shooter, the unfortunately titled Fairgames from the Jade Raymond-led first-party studio Haven. While it's natural to be skeptical, especially in light of recent events, it at least internally is getting good news. Sony seems to think it might have a banger on its hands. Word comes by way of GamesIndustry.biz's Christopher Dring, who on the latest episode of the GI Microcast speculated that Sony sent Concord out to die, but in contrast with this bleak assessment, Christopher Dring said he's hearing quite a bit of positive buzz about Haven's game. Quote, I've heard good things about Jade Raymond's game, Fairgames. I've heard good things about that. I know people who are a bit skeptical about the trailer, but I've heard internal chatter is very positive about it, end quote. So when it comes to how I feel about this, honestly, I'm still extremely skeptical and very cautious. It seems that Fairgames is on a very similar path that Concord was on, where it's a brand new studio, they're purchased by Sony, they're unproven, and they only have a CGI trailer out there, no actual gameplay, and there seems to be pretty much zero interest or hype for this game. So I'm not saying I'm expecting it to be as big of a failure as Concord necessarily, although I will say I went back and I watched that trailer again for Fairgames, and man, it's really not doing it for me. And if you look at the comments that people are leaving, it's not good. I think people are going to be going into Fairgames with an even more critical eye now after Concord, and I think that can be said for all of Sony's live service games going forward, unfortunately. But the one thing I will say about Fairgames that it does have going for it is its gameplay premise, where it's basically like a PvP heist game. There's really not much out there like that. I mean, maybe something like Payday, but still, I'm really not convinced at all that this game is going to fare much better than Concord. I mean, I could see it doing better overall because Concord is like quite literally one of the biggest disasters we've ever seen. We've never seen a game get pulled offline that quickly. So I don't know that the same thing will happen for Fairgames necessarily, but I also don't think it's going to do that much better. But then again, we have yet to see actual gameplay. But yeah, what's out there right now, not really doing it for me. I don't think it's doing it for many other people either, but I figured I would just kind of relay this news to you. But guys, that is going to do it for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.